I'm just going to show you some more cards that I made, and I wanted to share, but I haven't got around to doing it. I'm going to start with this card right here. I made this using Glitz French Kiss papers. I basically just did one layer behind and then did another layer on top. I had some scrap paper of it that I'd used for another card, so I layered that behind and then got my Kaisercraft knife and slid it. So then I could flap those corners back. I actually showed that in another video, how I basically did that, if you guys want to know how to do that technique. Then what I did was got my glue gun and just glued it back, because I find that's the only thing that's really strong to hold that back. I've in the middle used a WOW chipboard piece and put on it a Kaisercraft, Graphic 45 the Graphic 45 Miss Crossity Shop butterflies. Then I've used up here a Charmaholic corner, and down here I Am Roses, and these ones are I Am Roses. This is Terracotta by Kaisercraft in the large blooms, and these are the Sunrise in the mini blooms. I've gone over them with a bit of ink just to give them a real grungy look, and used vintage photo over the top and just wet them and then dried them. For my next card I was trying to go for a real grungy look. I basically just tore a page out of one of my books that I have that I use for a lot of projects. I then did a doily underneath, which I went over with vintage photo, and then sprayed it with sand glimmer mist, using one of the glimmer mists that I have. And then I went over it with coffee bean basil cardstock and distressed the edges also. I did another layer underneath of the book paper, but did it a bit darker in the colours using the walnut and the vintage photo, but putting a lot into it. All edges are distressed, and also this little edge is flapped over, as you can see. Then what I've done is put a little girl that I got off eBay and cut around her, and I've also got a Tim Holtz Little Hope poking out with one of his little paper clips that I got in a pack. Down here I've cut the same rows out of this collection, and I've just got that sort of poking out of that corner. Down here I've used Charmaholic's corners again, but I've actually cut it in half and just put them in each corner. Down here I've used all I Am Roses flowers, except this one. It's from a local wedding shop down here. And I just basically curled the stems and have them poking out in each corner, just to frame that little girl. And it turned out really well. I think it's really grungy, and I was really happy with it. This is my absolute favourite. It's my grandfather's birthday coming up this weekend. And I wanted to make him a card that was really masculine, but he always comments that all my cards have flowers on it, and why doesn't his? So this time it's got flowers. What I've basically done is I got some friends, because I didn't have the dies, to send me the clock, and I absolutely love these dies. I'll have to invest in them. So the clock's there. I've painted it and tried to make it look really timberish. So I kind of made it darker in other areas and lighter in like others. Oh, sorry. The paper I used was Weekend Market by Bo Bunny, and it's really masculine. It's really grungy, and I really like it. So it's all distressed, all the edges. Then I've gone over the clock, which I said I'd painted in darker areas and lighter in others. Then up here I've done the cogs, also sent from a friend. This one has more golds, browns and silvers, and I kind of tried to mix it up a bit. I didn't have any really rusty kind of embossing powders, so I sort of tried to make my own and did it about 1,000,000 times over the top, different colours. Then this one is more like golds, rusts and browns, and a little bit of silver peeking through. This one was actually a real gear I had. I paid like $4 or something for 6. So I have that sort of poking out. Got that from Spotlight, and then I've just put some black paint over the top and rubbed it off, so it kind of looked a bit aged like the other ones. Then what I've done is curled my book paper, which I've showed in another video. I've also got the clock ends poking out, so it's pointing to the happy birthday down the bottom. Then what I've done is made my own flower out of the Tim Holtz Tattered Garland and Tattered Floral dies, and I've got that poking with a little gold vintage brad in the middle. Then I've got I Am Roses book paper rolled, I Am Roses, I Am Roses. Then what I've used, borrowed a friend's punch of Martha Stewart's, a 3 butterfly punch in the one punch, and I've used them for down there and up there. And down here I've used the same paper behind, distressed it again, and then put craft cardstock over the top with Happy Birthday stamped with Staz on Timber Brown, and then cut in a flag shape. I'm so happy with how it turned out. It is still a bit girly but still masculine, and the butterflies, to make it more masculine, I actually punched them out of sandpaper. So that does make them a little bit more masculine. So I really hope he likes it, and I'm really happy with how it turned out, and I hope you guys like it. If you'd like to see more of my projects, you can check it out on Just Cards by Sarah on Facebook. And make sure you leave me a comment. I'd like to hear what all you guys think. Alright, talk to you soon.